You know, buying new construction sounds simple, right? I mean, you pick your lot, you pick your finishes, and you move in. But there are things that builders don't advertise. And if you don't understand them, they could ultimately cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in the new construction process. If you get value out of this type of content, help me out by liking and subscribing. The more subscribers we get, the more we can get this important information out to people in our audience. First thing we want to talk about, it's the base price trap. If you've ever driven by a new construction sub in our area, you might see that sign out front and it looks like that price is amazing for the homes you're seeing in there. And it can be a little tricky. Quite honestly, when you see that home in that sub and it says starting in the low 400s, there's a good chance by the time you actually select a lot and pick out your finishes, you could be in the low to mid 500s for a lot of these subs. A little deceptive why they want you to click on it. They want you to come in. They want you to inquire. But what they don't talk about is some of the things that can drastically raise the price. That low 400s price is often a home that is really the most basic of basics on the cheapest lot. One of the first ways that prices really can start to go up is the lot selection. You see, if you're interested in a walkout or a daylight basement versus a standard, that can absolutely start to drive up the price. The other thing is that base price often doesn't include very many upgrades. Do you want to select your countertops that you like versus the absolute cheapest? Do you want to select a higher grade or different color of cabinets? That could end up moving your price up as well. Do you want something beyond the cheapest floor coverings they could put in there? We're looking at adding to the base price just the same too. Are you interested in structural upgrades? Things like thicker walls for better insulation in those cold winters here in Michigan. All of these things can ultimately really add to the price of the home as you go forward through the process. So whether it's elevation premiums because you want a little bit more than the basic house, or whether it's lot premiums, or whether it's the design center inflation, this is when you got to watch out because sometimes you can put so much into the house from the design center that it doesn't appraise. So yeah, you've got all these things selected, but in the end, the home is so expensive that they won't lend on it. Now, a lot of builders know this, and they'll help to guide you through this process because it's in their best interest that you're able to get the loan. But this is something that you really want to pay attention to when you're budgeting for new construction. The next thing that's really important to pay attention to, it's the builder contract reality. Most builders in this area simply won't use the normal Board of Realtors contract. Instead, they have their own contracts that are absolutely written to put everything into their favor as they go forward. From non-refundable deposits to escalation clauses in some to even flexible timelines. Wait, not on your behalf, on their behalf. Did they not get the house done on time? Well, you typically already accepted that if you've signed their contract. And you might be lining up to sell your own home and caught in between. So understanding and knowing your timelines when it comes to the builder is something that's really important, because if you can't close on time from the builder, there's oftentimes a penalty for you. However, if they're the ones that can't close on time, well, you've already agreed to it in the contract, and it's your problem to double move or to deal with it at that phase. Oftentimes, builders are pressuring you too to use their preferred lender. And sometimes they'll incentivize this. It's one of those things where they're like, hey, you can put less of a deposit down if you use our lender. However, there's no way for them to force you to use any lender. So if you have a lender of your preference, you can use them, but they might require a $10,000 deposit instead of a $5,000 deposit at that phase. In the end, I'm not anti-builder, but I'm very pro-informed buyer. And because being informed as a buyer can make all the difference as you go through this process. Next thing, and it's really important for us to pay attention to this, we want to know about the inspection process. And listen, there can be a lot that goes into home inspections for new construction, but usually the builder, they're not going to tell you about it, and they're certainly not going to tell you to get a third-party inspector to check on it. New certainly doesn't mean perfect, but there's a few different times that people should be paying attention and really bringing in a third-party inspector to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. One of those is the pre-drywall inspection. Having that inspector that can see inside your walls can make all the difference down the road. Now, yeah, the county or the city might do an inspection, but often these inspectors are just loaded down with 3, 4, 10 inspections in a day. And so they don't put the same type of quality and attention into an inspection like you would get with somebody you hired to go through it, and a professional to help make sure it's in good shape before that drywall goes up. Oftentimes, you're also going to want to be really wary of the final walkthrough punch list. And yeah, a lot of builders, they'll go through and they'll do what they call the blue tape inspection, where you're looking for flaws and putting that blue tape on there. But keep in mind, this might be an hour or two, and it's overwhelming, especially as you're preparing to move and do the closing and all these different pieces. And if you're not a professional yourself, there might be large things that you miss while you're looking for small cosmetic flaws. Having a pro help you through this process can absolutely save you thousands and thousands down the road. The last but not least is many builders are focused on the 1-year home inspection. Oftentimes their warranty will go out for the first year, and they'll send a rep over to go through the home with you and ask you what needs to be fixed. However, again, this can be something where in that period of time, you might not catch it all. And having a pro go through, especially someone that's experienced in this type of inspection, can be a lifesaver when it comes to money coming out of your pocket for repairs versus the builder going through and providing the warranty and the warranty repairs they've already agreed to and are legally bound to in the state of Michigan. Last but not least, we want to talk about how to buy smart. And there's a couple of things that can make a humongous difference. Number one, you really do want to get representation early. The bottom line is builders reps, they're not there to represent you. They're there to represent the builder. They're not there to look out for your best interest. They're there to look out for the builder's best interest. So having someone that you can trust is definitely a key. But it's not just about trust. It's about their experience and knowledge. Having especially a realtor who knows new construction and has experience, and also too knows the different builders and the different choices available in your area, can make all the difference. Because I've learned over the years that no builder is going to tell you that their competition has a better product for you. They're going to try to force you into one of the models that they have. That being said, there's a lot of choices in builders in West Michigan right now. So having someone that knows what's available, what's the price ranges, and what you're really getting for your money can make all the difference when it comes to buying that new construction house. The other thing we want to focus on is today it's much easier to negotiate incentives versus bottom line price. The reality is this: a lot of builders give incentives on interest rates. And you can even see some of these builders with today's rates are offering rates into the high 4s and even oftentimes into the low 4s. What are they doing? How are they doing that? Well, they're actually buying your rate down with the money they're making off of the house. And they do it for a couple of different reasons, but some important ones for them are to keep the comps high in the area so that future sales absolutely appraise. Because if they took money off the top, now their comps for the next appraisal are diminished. And if they can't get the homes they're selling to appraise, then they've got a real problem for price increases in the sub. And of course, the more the prices go up, the better it is for that builder. The next thing that you really want to look at when you're going through building is the timing analysis. Strategically placing the time is really important, especially if you have a home to sell, because you don't want to get caught in a double move, and you don't want to get caught with 2 payments at once. So understanding the timing of the builder and the timing of what it takes to coordinate the sale of your existing home can really be a big deal and can either cost or save you tens of thousands of dollars in many, many cases. Last but not least, you want to understand those resale implications. If you put so many upgrades that your home is still worth the rest of what the homes are in the neighborhood without them, well, you can really be in a position where you're losing a lot of money. Having someone to help guide you on pricing can absolutely make all the difference in these situations. While that heated basement floor might be wonderful, does it really add value to what you're doing in the home? Even upgraded cabinets might add just a portion of the value to the total sale price when you go to move versus what they cost as you start to go into the process in the very beginning. Having a good understanding of what your resale will be, especially for the upgrades you choose, can be a very big deal when purchasing. Ultimately, the builder has a builder's rep. You should have a rep for yourself just the same as well. Before you walk into a builder's model and register with no representation, watch this video again. Make sure that you've looked at all these different points as you go forward. And if you're looking for someone who knows new construction and knows the inventory around the area, reach out to me. I specialize in getting the right home for my clients. Whether it's from this builder or that builder makes no difference to me, but you getting the right home is my ultimate goal. You can contact me by using my information in the description below. And thank you guys for watching this video.